Hello? Yo, what's up, bro? In today's video, we'll be talking about if you should or shouldn't make games outside of Roblox. A lot of people have asked themselves this question since Roblox DevX rates are low, and there are apparently some issues with the engine as well. Listen, I'm not a super advanced dev. I think I'm intermediate at best. I haven't even mastered scripting yet, which is the only thing I do, but I think I can give my opinion on this. Let's get started. Alright, so if anybody is thinking about making video games while deciding on what engine to start their career with, Roblox Studio is not gonna be their first choice. And I think it doesn't even have to do anything with the earning potential, which we will also talk about in this video. I think there are two main reasons why Roblox is not like on the top 3 engines. The main one being that Roblox uses Lua for its code, which is a very uncommon coding language even among game engines. And if you don't know about game development outside of Roblox, basically the 3 main game engines that developers usually go for are Unreal Engine for professional games, Unity, which is semi-professional. I mean, like, it's still professional, but it's not the most powerful, if you know what I mean. And then the last engine is Godot, which I've heard is very friendly for starter developers. And most of these engines use either C# or C++ for their code. Well, Godot has also like their own thing, but they also give you the option to use C# or C++. So the most common engines and the most powerful ones use a different coding language to Roblox Studio. So you're learning how to code, but the coding language you learn is almost completely exclusive to Roblox nowadays, which means that you will face a harder transition in terms of coding if you want to eventually move out of the platform. And then the second reason is that you're kinda limited in terms of what commercial games you can make in Roblox. Notice how I say commercial, because in theory you can make almost anything in the Roblox Studio engine. I think enough games and experiences have proven that, but what I'm specifically referring to is that, well, yeah, let's just say Roblox players are into very unconventional and interesting games. Alright, so that's from the point of view of someone who's deciding what game engine to pick without any previous experience. Now, let's say you're already on your way to becoming a Roblox developer. A very common reason people often want to leave the platform and learn to make games in other game engines is because of the huge cut Roblox takes from your games. You see, DevX exchange rate at the moment is at 0.0035 USD. So, like, per every Robux you exchange, you get $0.0035. But this is just the exchange rate. Players can purchase Robux for roughly $0.0125 per Robux, of course, which is approximately 3.5 times more than what developers actually get per Robux exchange into real money. Which, yeah, you can argue that Roblox is profiting a little bit too much from this, but that can be another video on itself. And by the way, they also take like 30% of your Robux earnings before you even cash out their Robux into real money. So if you do the math, they take around 70% of what your game makes, which can look like a lot when you take into account that Steam takes 30% and Epic Games takes just 12%. So if you just take into account these numbers without any more information, well, the one you'd pick is clearly not Roblox, right? But here's the thing, Roblox's split with developers is not as bad as you think it is. I know you're probably ready to cook me in the comments after saying this, but just hear me out. People that make games outside of Roblox, and I'm talking about real serious projects, not these prototype video games that you'll often see, which are like very simple. I'm talking about finished products, not necessarily double, triple, or quadruple A games, but just like, you know, decent polished finished games. They often have to work with a publisher that will handle their marketing and fund their projects. And of course, the publisher will take a share of the game. And from what I've heard and seen, a lot of the time they go for 50-50 splits, or if you're lucky, you might get 60-40 in your favor, which in the best case scenario, not only will Steam, for example, take 30% of your revenue, but you also have your publisher take 40% of your game's revenue. And all of a sudden, that 70% cut that Roblox has doesn't look too crazy. And wait, hold on, before you go start cooking me in the comments saying how I'm sponsored by Roblox and how I'm writing Roblox and all that, I'm not saying that the cut Roblox takes is entirely fair, and I'll explain why in a bit. Just stay with me here. Okay, so why did I mention the publishers? You might be like, well, yeah, Ludius, in the end, it's a larger cut, but at least not all of it is going to the same company. And you're right, but here's where I'll start talking about one of Roblox's biggest advantages. Realistically, it's a lot easier to make a successful Roblox game than making a successful game on any other platform. You don't need a game publisher because oftentimes getting a single streamer to play your game will suffice, or sometimes just uploading TikToks can work apparently. I haven't tested this myself since none of my projects are ready to be published yet, so I can't speak from experience on this, but a lot of people and success stories, actually most of them, they either get a couple of streamers or just upload TikToks, or they have their own YouTube channel and start promoting their game in there or something like that. What I'm trying to say with all of this is that in Roblox, I haven't really heard about a single game that's had to work with a game publisher, and I don't think there are any game publishers for Roblox games. So you don't even need a game publisher if you're making a Roblox game. while outside of Roblox, it's very hard to really make it without using a publisher. It's not impossible. There are games out there that have made it, but it is a lot harder, especially if you're a solo developer. Or at least that's what I've heard. I could be tripping, but I think it makes sense, right? I think that's the main reason why Roblox hasn't really changed their DevEx rates, because if developers at the end of the day are gonna see similar amounts of money in the bank account, then why change it? The gap is not that huge anyway. I think theirs is higher even with the huge cut that game publishers can take, but it's not as huge as we think it is if you use a game publisher outside of the platform. Now, if you're fully able to handle the marketing and funding of your game yourself, then you'll probably be better on any other platform that's not Roblox, because you wouldn't need a game publisher. But this is probably not the case, since most likely you're starting in your career and you probably don't even know what game publishers even do. Hell, you probably didn't even know that game publishers were a thing. And this brings me to the next benefit of being a Roblox developer. Everything is just easier in this platform. Like everything from coding to world building to animations, everything's just easier. People expect less from your game and are willing to forgive more things like bugs and bad game design, and this has to do with the fact that Roblox games are free or very low in cost. Another thing I want to say is that if you're starting in game development, you might as well just forget about making money at the start. This is more of a marathon type thing. So if you're just starting and you're already worrying about how making games outside of Roblox can give you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% more revenue, you're worrying about the wrong thing, because it doesn't matter what the cut of your platform is, you're not gonna make any money. I probably sound like I'm hating on you right now, but it's coming from a place of love, bro. I literally gain nothing by hating on you. I don't even make a penny from this YouTube channel. I'm not even monetized. I don't even take sponsors, and for the most part I think I never will unless it's like something major that I can really trust. But yeah, genuinely, if you're thinking about money, you're worrying about the wrong thing. Humble yourself a little bit. So finally, answering the question, should you make games outside of the Roblox platform? Depending on what exactly you mean by that question and who's asking it, you might get a different answer. If you're just starting in game development with no previous experience, I think Roblox can be a really nice entry-level engine for you. If you already have a lot of experience making games or coding or creating 3D assets and world building, game design, and marketing, then you might be better off outside the platform, but it takes time to get there, and me personally, I'm not there yet. I'm very far from it, so yeah, that's just not me yet. But hey, there's nothing wrong with experimenting and checking out other engines. I've done it myself, but I decided to focus on Roblox for now. Eventually I will make games outside of Roblox, but right now I'm mostly centered about learning game development as a whole, and Roblox lets me do that faster and at a lower cost, so I'm sticking with that for now. Alright, that's all I got for today. Keep leveling up, bro. Be safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.